Hi, this is KhoPhi here, and thanks for joining me in yet another FPV test training session that I'm doing. So you see that bounce that happened over there. I changed the battery to using the 2.3k milliamp hour battery, and it's relatively heavier, so kind of weighs the drone down. I just needed to kind of adjust the throttle accordingly so as to compensate for the increase in weight. In any case, this building you are looking at, I have a bit of history now, and it was built somewhere in the early 2000s, based on what I was told by one of the workers here who's been working here since it was constructed. So he told me he was here when this part of the plant was built. So this part is it's a pumping station which draws water from the Densu dam over there and then sends it to, I think, somewhere in town to be processed. I am not exactly sure where it is being pumped to nowadays and whether it's still in use like it used to, but this part is basically the pumping station, and once in a while they turn it on, I think, to pump, and I'm not exactly sure where it goes and what they do with it, but it's pumping from this side. I think there is a suction tube just around here on the right side. Now there is a bit of a dive here where you're able to measure how high the water is and stuff like that. It helps them to know when to open and when to close these hydraulic gates. So what you're looking at is the controls for the hydraulic gates, and I think you could count the number. I'm not sure exactly what the numbers of the hydraulics are, but in essentially they are blocking the water flow, and so when the water goes way high to a certain point, they open it up and allow the water to flow. I'm also comfortable doing this kind of tight movements in small spaces with the silly whoop and not use the freestyle, because this one has got the ducts around the blades. So this is the part of the dam which the man said it was constructed probably before he was born. And the man is probably somewhere in his 50s. So I imagine this dam specifically is about 60 years old. Like that structure of the dam, it's about 60 years old. And that would put it somewhere in 1960s, which I imagine is close to being correct, because it's old and every story I've heard about the dam is really old. So the pumping station, this small building, houses the transformer for it. So it's just one small building where the transformer is, and that's what controls the pumping station. So yeah, pretty much that's I've never gone into these the interior. Actually, this is my first time going inside to see what is there. I've been here multiple times, but I've never ever gone into the building to look at it, and I went inside for the first time today to check it out. Yeah, so that's a bit of the story behind this dam and the station, the pumping station. The pumping station is relatively new, came recently, just in the early 2000s, but the dam you're seeing there was built many decades ago, and that might explain why it does not allow cars to cross, because in probably 1960, how would you justify a car crossing the river? Like, it probably wasn't. And this is not in Accra, or it's not in any prominent town at the time. This is a thick village at the time. Everything here probably was not like, it's hard to justify making a bridge at the time, but it's rock solid, and yeah, currently it's just a walking bridge. So this is the quick story about the Densu pumping station and the dam here. My battery was dying at this point because of flying from the other side, where I went to do the uncompleted building. I brought the same battery here, so it was kind of drained. And yeah, that's it for me with this one. Thanks for joining me, and hope to see you in the next. Bye.